I was perfectly willing and able to go to work, smile at people, show my face, breathe air, live life. They wanted me to shut my mouth. These globalists will not steal this generation on my watch. I will not participate in the freedom-sucking, government-indoctrinating, financial enslaving, one-world tyrannical takeover where your generation pays for the mistakes that my generation made. You were not born by accident. You were born on purpose and for a purpose. Just the best event ever. Okay, guys, we're starting something a little bit differently this time, okay? I know that, I don't know if any other speakers have done this, but we're gonna start with a song, okay? So I'm gonna kind of start us out. You're gonna help me out. You're gonna get in this with me, okay? You ready? Here we go. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you will lose your heartache. Whatever you wish for, you keep. That's a lie. Flat out lie. But then there's this one. You gotta join me again. When you wish upon a star, there we go, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart, come on, sing it, will what come to you? No, it won't. It's not gonna do that. That's a lie. Now, I don't know, but as a former Disney princess, I feel I have some experience in this department. That's right. In the Department of Dreams, right? I'm just saying, the Department of Dreams is my wheelhouse. But I'm not here today as a princess, not here as a celebrity, not here as a former actress from Good Luck Charlie, nor someone who worked for the Walt Disney Company. Today, I'm here as mom. So buckle up, Buttercup, because I'm gonna tell you some hard truths. And although I may use jazz hands or strike a pose from time to time, I do not sugarcoat and I do not sprinkle pixie dust. If I were a genie, I would grant you 3 wishes. A fairy godmother would wave a magic wand. The world will tell you to fake it till you make it, but I'm gonna tell you to faith it till you make it. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. That's not manifestation. That is directions from the Bible. Mark 11, verse 24. You see, you've been sold a lie. You've been raised in the loudest generation in history. You don't just live life, you document it. You don't just experience moments, you brand them. And the message this world has ingrained in you since you were a little kid is this: if you don't go big, you don't matter. If you're not seen, you're invisible. If you're not impressive, you're irrelevant. And if you're not funny, well, honey, if you're not funny, you're just not funny. That one's true. But the rest is all lies. And it's exhausting you. Some of you are just 18 years old and already burned out. Some of you are 30 and you're afraid you've missed your window. Some of you love Jesus, but you also love the idea of being known. Let me ask you something bold right out of the gate. If God called you to a life no one applauded, would you still follow him? Because chasing your dream sounds inspiring until the dream starts asking for pieces of you that belong to God. This world can take pieces of your soul and chip away at it before you even recognize that it's happening. I lived the dream. I was a young actress with ambition, so much ambition. I wanted to perform, I wanted to create, I wanted to succeed, I wanted to be Julia Roberts. And I worked hard. I still work hard. Auditions, rejections, waiting rooms, callbacks, rejections. Did I mention I've become very accustomed to rejections? It's very little phases me at this point. But eventually doors opened. I got the job. I got the role. I got the you made it moment. And can I tell you a secret that people never talk about? Arrival doesn't silence insecurity. Fame doesn't fulfill purpose, and applause does not anchor your soul. There were moments recently in my life where I had to decide, will I be faithful or will I be famous? Will I keep my convictions or will I keep my opportunities? Will I speak the truth or will I keep quiet? And here's what no one has on their inspirational quote bingo card, but it's the truth. Success will test your character far more than failure ever will. Yeah, we learn from our mistakes. But when you're looking at dollar signs and want to build your dream, build your name, build your house, when the world commands you to fall in line and dance like a monkey, will you do the two-step or will you step up in God's obedience? Jesus asks, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but forfeit his soul? Look at me. You are being offered the world. Influence, platforms, opportunities, access. Eve wasn't the only one who took a bite from the forbidden fruit of knowledge. Everyone in here with an iPhone, raise your hand. We take a bite of that apple with every scroll, TikTok video, like, and follow. You are being offered the world. But what will it cost you? Because if your dream requires you to compromise truth, silence conviction, put your faith on mute, or mock what God calls holy, it's not a dream from God, it's bait. The enemy doesn't show up with horns, he shows up with opportunity. You all feel the pressure, I feel it. The pressure to be successful, be attractive, be influential, be wealthy, be politically correct, be culturally aware, be mentally strong, be emotionally available, be perfect. We're all trying to carry a weight that our Creator never designed our souls to carry. Psalms 127 verse 1 says, unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. You are grinding for houses God never asked you to build. You are chasing platforms He never assigned to you. And then you feel anxious. The gospel of Disney tells you to follow your heart. I don't know why they do this or where this movement came from, but like every fairy godmother does it. But Jeremiah 17:9 says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who the heck can understand it? I might have embellished a little bit there. Our hearts are emotional. Our hearts are reactive. Our hearts are influenced by the human experience of trauma, trends, hormones, comparison, and algorithms. God never said, follow your heart. He said, follow me. Proverbs 3 verses 5 and 6. Trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understandings. Not your feelings, not your 5-year plan, not your brand strategy, Him. So let me mom you real hard for a minute here. Your identity is not in your follower count, your relationship status, your GPA, your athletic ability, your talent, your political views. If all of that disappeared tomorrow, who are you? That is the very question I asked myself when I stood for the truth and the dream slipped away. It was canceled, actually, but slipped away sounded nicer. Genesis 1, verse 27 says that we are made in the image of God. That means that before you ever post, perform, produce, promote, or prove, you bear his image. You don't have to hustle for worth. You already have it. Just seek him first. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Do you notice the order? That means before the application, pray. Before the relationship, pray. Before the business, pray. Before the post, pray. And I have really learned that one the hard way. Oh, my manager's like, shown up. You don't need God to endorse your dreams. You need God to author them. Because no one, and I mean no one, can turn a story, create the most unpredictable plot twist that you never saw coming like God can. And it's so good to have dreams, but not if you have to compromise. God gave me a dream. I grew up knowing what I was going to do. Acting for me wasn't rebellion, it wasn't vanity, it was a gift. It was a gift that provided stability, visibility, being part of something beloved and cherished. And I don't regret one single second of it. But let me be very clear, I didn't open those doors, God did. Now, the downside to that dream is that there are industry pressures. There are expectations to stay silent. There are unspoken rules about what you don't say. I didn't lose my faith in Hollywood. I just learned how to compartmentalize it. Faith was welcome as long as it stayed private. Differing opinions were encouraged as long as you kept your mouth shut. And although acting was a gift that I've been given, keeping my mouth shut is not. COVID happened, and I just didn't approve of my basic human rights, my God-given rights that were mine just for being born, being stripped away. I will not submit to mandates. I will not submit to mandates that restrict my oxygen, restrict my movement, and completely defile my bodily autonomy. That is not political. If government gains the right to force mandate medical products and take away what are basic God-given rights, it's game over for humanity. And I don't care if it's Biden, Trump, Fauci, or those billionaires that call themselves elites. Okay? That's not what I call them, that's what they call themselves. I'll say what I call them on another day. Anyway. No government, no man, no court can force any of that on any of us. And I said that part out loud. I did. That was my unforgivable Hollywood sin. For me, this wasn't about being loud. It wasn't about sticking it to the man. It was about being faithful and truthful. God didn't say sacrifice your career. He said, who do you belong to? Joshua 24 verse 15 says, choose this day whom you will serve, and I made a choice. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And overnight, the dream seemed to have evaporated. It was my career versus my conscience, my security versus my obedience. I lost opportunities, I lost relationships. My name was smeared, horrible things written about me in articles, and lies told about me on Inside Edition. Inside Edition, the place people go to count on hard, evidence-based facts. Yeah. Oh, I got death threats via social media. The President of the United States called me a domestic terrorist. Listen, it wasn't my most shining moment, okay? It was not fun, and I paid a price. But obedience doesn't mean it will be easy. But sometimes we're called to do hard things. But God uses all bad for good. Because then came peace, integrity, alignment, and freedom. Freedom that I wasn't owned by anyone. I was called by the one. See, God never asked me to give up my dream for him. He asked me to trust him with my identity, with my purpose. And when I did, he restored everything. The biblical meaning of the word restoration is to receive back more than has been lost to the point where the final state is greater than the original condition. It is improved beyond measure. Now I live in Tennessee. I don't pay state income tax. Yeah. I get to spend time with my parents. My children get to have a yard. That's something you just don't get in California. I have friends with ethics and morals that love Jesus. I'm starring in a TV series on Angel called A Week Away, the series. I've written a children's book, too, in fact, produced a children's television series called Iggy and Mr. Kirk, and I'm writing a book on courage, and I'm standing on this stage with a microphone and boldly speaking about my faith to a generation that calls me mom. And I still have dreams. Now, some of you are waiting for a massive calling. A stage, a microphone, a movement. The irony is not lost on me that I'm currently standing on a stage with a microphone because of movement. But what if your next step is just obedience in secret? Colossians 3, verse 23 says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord. Here's what I hear. Whatever you do, study, create, serve, practice, lead, clean your room, brush your teeth, cook your meals, forgive someone. Big obedience is built on small obedience. You gotta crawl before you walk and walk before you run. David was faithful with sheep before he faced Goliath. But now I need to speak to the ones who feel left behind. You scroll and you see engagements. You know all the pictures? Or the baby ones? You see startups, and viral moments, and perfect bodies and perfect lives, and you feel late. But Galatians 6, verse 9 says, let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Due season. Not their season, not Instagram season, your season. God is more interested in your character than your clout. If he gave you everything you wanted right now, would you survive it or would it destroy you? Some delay is protection. God is called a good father because he shows us mercy. If he gave us everything we wanted when we wanted it, he would be called a good grandfather. You are not behind. You are not late. God is not testing you. He's forming you. If you love business, art, science, leadership, auto mechanics, accounting, God is not surprised by that. I am. I am genuinely surprised that some people like math. But I'm grateful for my accountant because I should not be left to my own devices when it comes to math. But I have seen people trade their convictions for contracts, trade truth for relevance, trade holiness for applause. And every time the cost is higher than they thought. I want everyone to hear me clearly. If your dream asks you to deny Christ, redefine Scripture, mock your faith, hide your beliefs, walk away. Do not consume their cultural programming. It's meant to wear you down, to break your spirit. Become unbreakable. Don't compare yourself to the fakes on Instagram. But if any of you find yourselves dipping your toes in ice on an airplane, tag me. If you cannot get away from your scroll, fill your scroll with good. Fill it with Scripture. Consume food made by God, not Kellogg. Listen to music that is a conduit to your Creator, not a fast pass to insanity. And what if you led differently? What if you became the generation of mothers and fathers that stay together? The homeschool co-op educators, the intentional builders of close-knit communities. Be the healers, not the drug pushers. Be the technologists with that is gonna be hard, we're gonna have to take that one again. I give $5 to anyone who guesses what word I was trying to say. Be the technologist with uncompromising ethics. Who writes this crap? Be the poets and reformers, the musicians that fill the world with hopeful, intentional, uplifting, healing music. Be the rebel that grows your own food. You know, in Tennessee, they want you to register your garden. I don't. See, I'm not telling you don't dream. Quite the opposite. I'm telling you dream bigger. Start the business, write the music, build the technology, run for office, act, create, lead, but hold the dream with open hands and say, God, if this glorifies you, grow it. If this distracts me from you, remove it. If this requires compromise, close it. And if it builds your kingdom, bless it. And mean it, because obedience is where dreams flourish. Look at all of you in this room, with even the ones that are leaving. I mean, I'm not sure why they're leaving. Hey, no shade, man, no shade. I don't take it personally, whatevs. Last time they'll do that. With just the women in this room on this day, we could shift a culture. Not by being louder, but by being holier. Not by chasing fame, but by chasing Jesus. The world is desperate for something real. Be grounded, be unshakable. I have set the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be shaken. Just set him before you. Before the career, before the relationship, before the dream, and you will not be shaken. Not by trends, not by rejection, not by comparison, not by delay, not by failure, and not by success. The safest place for your dream is not in your hands, but in God.